Hello, my name is Carolyn Graves Brown and I'm curator of the Egypt Centre at Swansea University. In this series called Egypt Centre Bitesize, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my favourite objects. Each recording will last 10 minutes or less. This are the first pair to star, EC1301 and 2. They're made out of pottery, they're around 10 centimetres high, and they depict figures with an upright hairstyle, pointed ears, you can see on this example here, a jutting out beard. But what or who are they? They seem to be part of braziers. On the left here, you can see an example from the Acropolis Museum. Each brazier had 3 pot supports or lugs. Here is a close-up. And here we have a reconstructed example to show you how the brazier works with a pot on top. You can't see the lugs here. Such braziers were used throughout the Hellenistic world from around 200 BC to AD 100. High concentrations of this type have been found around sanctuaries, suggesting a possible ritual function. However, many others have been found in domestic contexts. They may also have had an industrial use, such as for melting resin. The style of our two fits with those known to come from Egypt, in that they have erect hairstyles rather than a pilos. A pilos is a type of conical hat worn by Hephaestus and other fire demons, as on the example on the right. Large quantities of lugs have been found at Alexandria and Naucrates, suggesting they were made there. Petrographic examination of Egyptian examples suggests they were made of Nile silt. It is probable that the Egyptians made copies, copying those of the Greeks. So who are they supposed to be? The figure is usually identified as a satyr, or the demon Selenos, a follower of Dionysus and associated with intoxication. That they are satyrs is suggested by the pointed ears on some examples, such as ours. On the right, you can see an example of a vessel from the British Museum in the shape of Selenos. By the way, some satyrs do have erect hairstyles. It has further been suggested that the motif is derived from theatrical masks. According to Dionysius of Halicarnassos, when dancers dressed as satyrs followed Greek custom, they wore fright wigs, that is, the hair stood up. The upstanding hair may be a copy of the way the hair was combed back to cover the onkos, the cone-shaped projection on Greek tragic masks used to give the mask impressiveness. A good example of a 2nd century Greek mask with beard and onkos, which looks very similar to ours, is in the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Here it is. Interestingly, Julius Pollux, writing in the 2nd century AD, lists some 76 types of masks in his Encyclopedia of Masks. Number 16 is a man in prime of life, and he has a wedge-shaped beard and an onkos. It could be that such motifs were purely decorative, but several writers have suggested that they are grotesque faces designed to ward off evil. Cross-culturally, there are lots of protective figures with grotesque faces, and I show a couple here, but you may be able to think of others. In Greece, such masks decorated ovens, though not always as potlucks. It may be that the idea of the theatre-derived bearded lug, possibly like the grotesque figures, is in the tradition of grotesque characters such as bears in Egypt, also a performer of music and dance. If you are really interested in these objects, there is a link to our website here. And next week, we will be taking a closer look at a pair of very unusual bed legs, one of which has another grotesque figure upon it. On the left here, you can see Bez. So thank you very much for listening, and see you for the next one in a week's time.